Welcome back to TarHeelIllustrated.com. And if you're watching us on our rapidly growing YouTube channel, that is called Tar Heel Illustrated. I'm THI publisher Andrew Jones. Joining me is our director of football recruiting, Dina King. It is UNC football, class of 2022, National Signing Day. And as the signatures come in of the signed letters of intent, we are rolling out podcasts discussing each and every member of Carolina's highly ranked class. And in this podcast, we're going to discuss the most recent Tar Heel to send in his signed LOI, Randy Deuce Caldwell, a three-star outside linebacker from Molden, South Carolina, Molden High School in Molden, South Carolina, the number 9 overall prospect in South Carolina, 6'1", 215 pounds. He committed to Carolina June 25th as I was driving through the mountains toward Asheville. And all that craziness was going on. So Dina was able to handle that. And I'll tell you what, I'm glad that you were able to handle it. It's important because you have developed an interesting relationship with Deuce Caldwell. He's someone who enjoys talking. He likes talking to you. He's a guy that I know you really enjoy as well. And there's also something about him that people need to understand about the position, about how he's rated, what he's going to play at North Carolina. So why don't you kind of unload to everybody your relationship with him, the things you like about him as a dude and as a player, and the position that he's graded at as opposed to what he will play at North Carolina.
First of all, the nickname Deuce, I mean, he's a very outspoken person and reminds me, has a personality a lot like Rah Dealworth.
Yeah.
Just really outspoken on social media. Him and Travis go back and forth about who the top recruiter was. Travis obviously says he is. Deuce said that he'd get an assist and everything, but it's fun watching these kids interact on social media. So just another personality you got to when you have a nickname like Deuce and everything. But his position, Rivals had him at defensive back, I believe safety. And he's a kid that when you play at a smaller school, you're just designated like an athlete. They put you everywhere. Carolina zeroed in on him. They think he's going to be a great linebacker for them. And with his size, I can see why he's got great movement from sideline to sideline. He played wide receiver for down there for Malden High School. So just a huge pickup in the Palmetto State, right there in Clemson territory. Really fell in love with North Carolina and like I said, was one of their top player recruiters in this class.
To give people an indication of what a high school wide receiver who also plays linebacker looks like as a college linebacker, think about Cedric Gray. Think about how as Cedric got better in pre-snap situations, how much quicker and faster he was and how he chased guys down and how he was making plays from sideline to sideline. I think that's sort of a sneak peek into Deuce Caldwell.
Yeah. I mean, he improved greatly. Watched his clips. I mean, he was always having highlights, and he's one of those like Sebastian Cheeks. It's not afraid to hit you. Really, really solid tackler, and is going to be in there with Coach Thigpen. I don't know if he's going to be inside or outside. That's probably to be determined when he gets down there in Chapel Hill. So they've got a good one. Good leader with Randy, excellent student, great young man. And I loved talking to him, enjoyed his recruitment, following his recruitment.
And very quickly also, if you're looking at some of these freshmen who may get on the field early on special teams, he's the kind of kid that can play on multiple special teams. I could see him playing on 3 or 4 special teams next year.
That's why British Brooks earned his quote living at UNC, and look how it's paid off. I mean, to see him succeed here in the late part of the season and just decide to come back and be one of the leaders for the Tar Heels in the 2022 season, it says a lot. So a lot of these kids will be placed on special teams. We've seen Power, Eccles, and Rah be big time contributors on the special teams this past year. So
yeah, and Rah sometimes
teams. You got to earn your playing time.
And Rah sometimes wearing number 45 with no name on the back. So, all right, Randy Deuce Caldwell, 3-star outside linebacker, inside linebacker, wide receiver, special teams guy, athlete.
I'll say athlete.
5-star personality from Malden High School in Malden, South Carolina. He is the most recent member of the class of 2022 to send in his signed letter of intent. We will continue to monitor all of these LOIs as they come in and roll out discussions about each one of these new Tar Heels. She's Dina. I'm Andrew. We appreciate you guys stopping by.